Did you know that every single baseball that's been used in the major leagues and almost every single minor league team for decades, we're talking 60 plus years, the ingredients used to rough up that ball comes from just a few miles from my hometown. Every single baseball in Major League Baseball, almost every single minor leagues and countless other leagues is used from a mud from the Delaware River area that is literally probably within walking distance, at least biking distance of where I grew up and where I still live to this day. The mud is the Lena Blackburn Rubbing Mud Company out of Longport, New Jersey. Baseball never uses new baseballs. They're too slick and they are too hard to grip. About 75, we're talking close to 8 decades ago, the mud that is collected right here in New Jersey has been used on every single baseball in every single major league game. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a sunny afternoon in mid-October. All the trees are starting to turn, and we are arriving at our location for our next video. Funny story, and I never knew this. This right here is the old rescue squad that back in my younger days I used to be chief of, and it is right here on the edge of my old hometown. Right across the street, right behind all these bushes and trees, is the railroad tracks and the creek that actually leads to the super secret squirrel area that all that mud comes from. And don't worry, I'm not releasing any kind of information that has been released. The general area of the mud has been released a couple times, even been on TV. Nobody knows the exact location. But I was chief of this rescue squad for a number of years. Right across the street, behind all those trees, is the creek that leads right into that general area. New rules and regulations have actually been released in Major League Baseball on how to actually apply it. Before every game, it used to be it was okay to prepare the balls days in advance. Now, due to new rules and regulations released by MLB, equipment managers have to prepare the balls the same day as the game. And there's a lot of new regulations coming out. It all began in 1938 when the umpire turned to third base coach Lena Blackburn and complained that the balls were not performing well. They were too slick, and they were actually dangerous. There's a rumor that somebody was actually killed. I haven't been able to confirm that or seen any, but there's actually a rumor that somebody was killed by a ball that somebody didn't have a good grip on. Lena was the third base coach for then Philadelphia Athletics, and he took it upon himself to make it a mission to make balls safer. Up until those days, balls were actually dirtied up or, made less slick with just a combination of the field clay and water. The problem is that the water immediately soaked into the balls and made them very soft and also made them vulnerable to tampering. Lena took it upon himself to make this a mission to find something that would work well and was also safe. So upon returning to his house in Burlington County, New Jersey, right across the street from where all they played, he started exploring the Delaware River area for an appropriate substance that would work very well with balls. Finding some promising muck along the Delaware River, which is the exact location, is still a very closely guarded secret to this day, but nobody knows the exact spot where the exact combinations of the silt makes the perfect combination that's needed. He found the right texture that he thought would do the job. Taking this mixture to the athletics field house, they tried it on balls, and it was a perfect combination and also didn't have the normal stink that a lot of other things they had tried. And more importantly, it did not make the balls too dark like a lot of the other substances. They tried many, many substances. Again, some of them ruined the balls. The problem with anything they combined with water was the water either ran off and didn't soak into the ball, or it soaked into the ball so badly that it actually damaged the balls. The umpires, pitchers, and players were all very happy, and Lena was in the mud business. The entire American League adopted the mud within just a few months, and within a few years, the National League joined. And within just a few years, every single major league team was using this mud. Lena continued to run his business until his death in the late 80s. Years later, the business, location, and secret mix recipe were later willed to his friend John Haas, who had been working for him for many years. John eventually turned it over to his son-in-law, Burns Bintliff. Now his son, Jim, and his family still run the business to this day, nearly 75 years later. Every July, Jim and his family go out to the old mud hole and collect enough for the entire season. The collections sit in his garage for the entire winter, and a large majority of them are distributed during the spring, right before spring training. They collect hundreds of pounds of the magic mud. But if you're thinking about going out there and getting it for yourself, don't get your hopes up. Again, the exact location is still secret to this day. And like I said, they have been supplying baseball for nearly 80 years. So don't get the idea you're going to go out there and take over the market. The mix is described as a mixture of chocolate pudding and whipped cold cream. Is the mix that actually used what naturally occurs, or is what is just dug up from the riverbed? Or is there actually secret ingredients added? Again, that's a family secret that nobody knows.